Morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us on this webinar on our new CPUs. It's roughly about 15, 15 minutes presentation, but if you have any questions, feel free to put them in and we can get them at the end.
Hello and welcome to today's webinar. Let's take a look at our agenda for today. We are going to start with a quick review of our Horner controller lines, just to remind everybody what our main product lines are. And then we are going to talk about the new micro line of modular controls, is what we are calling these new CPUs. We will go through the features and functions. We will talk about some of the applicable industry, and we will finish with a Q&A session. Let's start with a quick reminder of the Horner product line. Our all-in-one controllers. It is a component that combines the functionality of a traditional PLC with a built-in touchscreen, typically with built-in I/O and lots of connectivity options, all configured and programmed with a single free all-in-one software package. We have three primary all-in-one controller product lines. We have the Micro OCS series, which is what we would call our entry level, but from a functionality standpoint, it has a lot more functionality than a lot of entry level products out there in the market today. So this is our most affordable product line. And then we have our XL Prime series. So the XL Prime was designed so any existing users of XL series could easily transition to a product line, which was a seamless transition with almost no work. We modernized an internal component, so even though it looks the same on the outside, it eliminated things like rechargeable batteries, and it allows us to continue to manufacture the product for years and years to come. So that is our XL Prime series, and then our Canvas series is our top end. This is where we have our newest technology, a dual core processor that has one core dedicated for logic and networking, and the other one for graphics. It has the most advanced graphics that we offer, so those are our three primary all-in-one controller lines. So this product line does not have a screen. It is called the RCC. So RCCs are for all intents and purposes traditional micro PLCs, and we currently have 4 models total, but 3 are general purpose, so that is the only series we offer today without any kind of screen. We have our launch of the new Micro Modular Controllers, and they are called Micro Modular Controllers because they fit nicely into the Micro family or the Micro line of products that we already sell. So even though these products do not have screens on them or touch screens, the specifications, the connectivity, the programmability, and the pricing levels are common with the existing micro line. They have plenty of memory built in, more than your typical micro product, and more built-in I/O than you will find with a lot of similar products. One of the models we will talk about in details has quite a bit of I/O built into it. Both models have the ability to add more I/O through local expansion through a backplane connector right on the side of the unit, so these products are geared towards applications that do not need a screen. Let's take a look at one of the 2 new models we are releasing, the Micro CPU250. This unit includes several key hardware features on the front, including a micro SD slot for data logging, field program loading without a laptop, and other standard functions. For direct programming, it uses a USB-C port, which is expected modern standard. The Micro CPU 250 also features an Ethernet port, 2 series ports on a single connector, and a CAN port, consistent with other models in the Micro family such as X4, X7, and X10. It supports both 12-volt and 24-volt power input, which is a step above the Micro OCS touchscreens, where only 10-inch model supports 12 volts. Because the CPU 250 does not include a local screen, a selector switch is included for toggling between run to stop modes and also for loading a program from the memory card. This switch can be disabled through a Cscape software if needed. The unit includes 34 built-in input and output points. While not visible in product photos, Each terminal on the strip includes LED light pipe to indicate I/O activity. In addition to built-in I/O, users can connect up to 7 OCS I/O modules directly to the unit through a backplane connector, which comes in the box, allowing flexible I/O customization. The smaller counterpart of the CPU200 is identical in design and functionality, but does not include any built-in I/O, making it ideal for applications that require fully modular I/O configuration using up to 7 OCS I/O modules. Before we examine the built-in I/O, let's first look at the memory capabilities of both the CPU250 and CPU200 from the logic standpoint. These models offer more functionality than typical micro series units such as the X4, X7, or X10, particularly in terms of memory for logic programs and variable data. Each unit provides 2 MB of program memory at least twice, and in many cases 4 times, the capacity of standard microcontrollers. In addition, they support 50,000 word-type variables and 16,000 Boolean variables, offering room for data and control logic. This ensures space even for advanced applications involving large-scale data logging. To internal memory, both 32-bit and 64-bit floating point operations are supported along with 8 PID loops, giving each CPU's computing and logic processing capabilities. Now let's take a closer look at the built-in I/O on the CPU250, which includes a total of 34 I/O points. The first 4 inputs can function as standard 12 or 24 volts DC input, or it can be configured for high-speed operations or up and down, utilizing supporting up to 500 kHz high-speed counting. Just like any micro series, the next 4 inputs are standard DC inputs rated 12 or 24 volts. Following these 8 flexible inputs that can be individually configured as standard 12 volt, 24 volt, or even 5 volt digital input, or as analog inputs, either 4 to 20 mA or 0 to 10 volt, based on the application needs. This allows for configurations ranging from 16 digital inputs and 0 analog inputs to 8 digital and 8 analog inputs, or any combination in between, with all 12-bit resolution on the analog side. On the output side, the CPU250 includes 2 high-speed DC outputs, which can function as standard outputs or can be used for functions like PWM or pulse train output. In addition, these are 8 standard DC outputs rated at half an amp, solid state, and short circuit protected. The final 8 outputs are analog. 4 provides 0 to 10 volts, and 4 supports 4 to 20 mA, offering strong support for process-oriented applications. Together, the unit can support up to 8 analog inputs, 8 analog outputs, and 8 PID loops, making it ideal for complex process applications. The built-in I/O, as well as the increased logic and variable memory, is designed to ensure that CPU250 will eventually serve as a full replacement for existing RCC units in the field. Now, if you need I/O other than what is built in, you can add up to 7 OCS I/O modules to either the CPU250 or the CPU200, either one. Because of the OCS I/O product line includes a wide range of available modules and has been on the market for several years, it provides an expansion options for the CPU250 and CPU200. Although modules are still in development, a variety of I/O types are already available. These include modules for expanded digital I/O, multiple options for relay outputs used for applications requiring mechanical switching, and 16-bit analog input modules designed for precise measurements from temperature sensors such as thermocouples or RTDS. This flexibility allows users to tailor their system to meet specific applications needs by interrogating the appropriate combination of OCS-I/O. The connectivity capabilities of the Micro CPU250 and the CPU200 are for all particular purposes identical to those found in the Micro OCS series. Each unit includes a built-in serial port that supports Modbus RTU communication, functioning either as a master or a slave. It also supports ASCII protocols, allowing interrogation with barcode readers and serial printers for applications such as receipt printing. Over Internet, the CPUs support standard protocols including Internet/IP as a server or I/O device, not as a scanner, and Modbus TCP as both client and server. On the CAN network, the units include built-in CSCAN support for internal unit communication or remote I/O expansion. While up to 7 I/O modules can be connected locally, users can also add multiple additional racks of remote I/O via CSCAN. For non-automotive or heavy equipment applications, the J1939 protocol support is in the final development stages and is expected to be available within the next few months. CAN Opens also supported, providing a standardized field bus interface ideal for motion control in similar applications. WebMI is also available through a license, enabling remote monitoring and control via a web browser on either desktop or mobile device. Finally, the OCS 360 cloud connectivities will soon be added for the Micro series, including CPU250 and CPU200, alongside existing support for modules such as the X4, X7, and X10. A subscription is required for cloud services as a standard practice, making CPUs highly versatile in terms of connectivity and remote control and remote access options. As previously mentioned, the plan is to support customers in immigrating from the RCC series to the CPU250 based on the I/O capabilities shown in the comparison chart. CPU250 includes types and quantities of I/O to serve as a direct replacement of any of the standard RCC models, regardless of which RCC models is currently in use. The CPU250 can serve as a functional equivalent, with the exception of RCC 6512, which is a specialized high-speed counter module. However, a new high replacement high-speed counter module for OCS-I/O is currently in development and will soon be available. This module will offer advanced high-speed counting functionality that exceeds what is built into the Micro CPUs, enabling full replacement capabilities even for more demanding applications. In terms of the markets and applications, CPU250 and CPU200 are highly flexible and suitable for a wide range of industries. As powerful and versatile PLCs, they can be used in nearly any environment where programmable logic control is required. They are well suited for OEM equipment, particularly when compact design and integrated features are important. Their built-in analog capabilities will make them ideal for process-oriented applications such as water and wastewater treatment, agriculture, food and beverage processing, and oil and gas. With no limitations beyond application-specific requirements, these controllers can be deployed across virtually any industrial sector. In terms of software, version 10.1 of Cscape with Service Pack 1 is a requirement version for working with CPU250 and CPU200. Any later versions will also be compatible, so if you are viewing this at a later date, ensure you are using version 10.1 Service Pack 1 or newer for full support and functionality with these controls. This launch represents just the first step in a broader expansion of our modular controller lineup within the Canvas and Micro series. Over the coming months, several new modular controllers will be introduced, and one of the most exciting developments in the next phase is the addition of a touchscreen component. Unlike traditional HMIs that require separate configuration or programming, this new touchscreen will be a plug-and-play module that can be physically mounted and connected to the front of the CPU using a single cable. The result is fully functional all-in-one control solution that remains completely modular. Users will have flexibility to position the touchscreen, controller, and I/O modules independently while programming everything as a single unified OCS project, as they would with existing systems. That concludes our webinar for today. Thank you so much for listening, and the Q&A session will begin shortly.
Okay, we will be following up with another webinar next week on this. So the registration link is up as always if you'd like to carry on and learn some more about these. I don't see any questions as yet, but feel free to get in touch if you do have questions. I think we can leave it there then. Thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you next time.